Yes, it is permissible to run type NMB cable, commonly called Romex, in EMT pipe, provided that certain conditions are met. Firstly, the Romex must be listed for use in wet locations since EMT is not inherently waterproof. Secondly, the Romex ampacity must be derated according to the National Electrical Code, specifically Table 310.16, based on the length of the pipe and the number of current-carrying conductors within it. Thirdly, the derated ampacity of the Romex must not be less than the load being served. Fourthly, the EMT pipe must be properly grounded according to code. The NEC requires that Romex be derated when run in conduit due to the potential for heat buildup. Conduit can act as a heat sink, which prevents the conductors from dissipating heat effectively, leading to overheating and potential failure. The amount of derating depends on several factors, including the length of the conduit run, the number of current-carrying conductors within the conduit, and the type of conduit being used. In your specific situation, you are running 2 lines of 14 American wire gauge, or AUG, 2-conductor Romex, meaning it has 2 insulated conductors and a ground, in a short length of EMT pipe less than 25 feet. In this case, derating may not be required, however always consult the NEC in your local electrical inspector to confirm. The wire you described, light blue in color, with markings E18679, Underwriters Laboratories or UL, AWG14-2 with AWG14 ground type NMB 600 volts, is standard 14-2 NMB Romex with a 14 AWG ground conductor. This type of cable is commonly used in residential wiring for lighting circuits and receptacles. The NMB designation indicates that it is a non-metallic sheet cable suitable for dry locations. Given that your garage wiring near the GFCI outlet is susceptible to physical damage, encasing the Romex and EMT conduit provides a robust protective measure. Remember that while EMT offers physical protection, it doesn't inherently provide a waterproof seal. If moisture is a concern, use fittings and connectors listed for wet locations. When determining whether derating is necessary, refer to NEC Table 310.16. This table provides ampacity ratings for conductors based on insulation type and temperature rating. NMB cable typically has a temperature rating of 90 degrees Celsius, however, its ampacity is limited to that of a 60 degrees Celsius conductor for circuits rated 100 amps or less or marked for 14 AWG 15 amps, 12 AWG 20 amps, and 10 AWG 30 amps. To determine the derated ampacity, first find the initial ampacity of the conductor from Table 310.16. Then apply the derating factors based on the number of current-carrying conductors in the conduit. The NEC defines current-carrying conductors as those that carry current under normal conditions. Grounding conductors are not considered current-carrying conductors. If the number of current-carrying conductors exceeds 3, you must apply a derating factor. The derating factors are specified in NEC Table 310.15 cone. For example, if you have 4 to 6 current-carrying conductors in a conduit, you must derate the ampacity by 80%. If you have 7 to 9 current-carrying conductors, you must derate the ampacity by 70%, and so on. The derated ampacity must not be less than the load being served. For example, if you are using 14 AWG Romex on a 15 amp circuit, the derated ampacity must be at least 15 amps. It is important to properly ground the EMT conduit to ensure electrical safety. Grounding provides a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to trip the circuit breaker or fuse and to energize the circuit in the event of a fault. The NEC specifies the requirements for grounding EMT conduit in Article 250. Generally, EMT conduit must be grounded using a grounding conductor run within the conduit or by bonding the conduit to a grounded metal enclosure. To properly install the EMT conduit, start by measuring and cutting the conduit to the desired length using a pipe cutter or hacksaw. Be sure to ream the cut ends of the conduit to remove any burrs or sharp edges which could damage the conductors. Next, install the appropriate fittings on the ends of the conduit, such as connectors and couplings. These fittings must be listed for use with the EMT conduit and must be properly tightened to ensure secure connection. When pulling the Romex through the conduit, use a pulling lubricant to reduce friction and prevent damage to the conductors. Do not exceed the maximum fill capacity of the conduit as specified in the NEC. Overfilling the conduit can make it difficult to pull the conductors and can also cause overheating. Once the conductors are pulled through the conduit, connect them to the appropriate devices, such as receptacles, switches, and lighting fixtures. Be sure to follow all applicable electrical codes and standards when making these connections. Finally, inspect the installation to ensure that it is safe and compliant with all applicable requirements. Check for any loose connections, damaged conductors, or other potential hazards. It is always a good idea to have a qualified electrical inspector review the installation before energizing the circuit. In summary, while you can run Type NB cable and EMT conduit for physical protection, especially in areas prone to damage, it's important to adhere to NEC guidelines regarding derating, proper grounding, and using appropriate fittings. When working with electrical systems, always prioritize safety and consult with a qualified electrician if you have any doubts or concerns. It is always better to be safe than sorry when dealing with electricity. Furthermore, it is important to understand the different types of conductors and their applications. Type NB cable is designed for dry locations and is commonly used in residential wiring for lighting, receptacles, and switches. It consists of 2 or more insulated conductors and a ground wire, all encased in a non-metallic sheath. Type THHN conductors, on the other hand, are single insulated conductors designed for use in conduit and other raceways. They have a higher temperature rating than NB cable and are suitable for both dry and wet locations. When running conductors and conduit, it is important to select the appropriate type of conductor for the application and to ensure that the conduit is properly sized to accommodate the number and size of conductors. The NEC provides detailed requirements for conduit fill in Chapter 9. In addition to derating, it is also important to consider voltage drop when running conductors over long distances. Voltage drop is the reduction in voltage that occurs along a conductor due to its resistance. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction or fail. The NEC recommends limiting voltage drop to 3% for branch circuits and 5% for feeders. To minimize voltage drop, use larger conductors or run conductors in parallel. It is also important to properly support and secure the EMT conduit to prevent it from sagging or becoming damaged. The NEC specifies the requirements for supporting EMT conduit in Article 358. Generally, EMT conduit must be supported every 10 feet and within 3 feet of each box or fitting. Supports must be designed to securely hold the conduit and must be made of corrosion-resistant materials. When working with electrical systems, always remember to energize the circuit before working on it. Use a voltage tester to verify that the circuit is de-energized before touching any wires or components. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves. Follow all applicable electrical codes and standards. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to do the work. Electricity can be dangerous and can cause serious injury or death if not handled properly. Always be aware of the potential hazards and take the necessary precautions to protect yourself and others. In conclusion, running Type NB cable in EMT conduit can be a safe and effective way to protect wiring in your garage, provided that you follow all applicable codes and standards. Remember to derate the conductors if necessary, properly ground the conduit, and use appropriate fittings and supports. Always prioritize safety and consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your electrical system is safe and reliable. Also, always check with your local electrical authority for any amendments or specific rules they have. It is also beneficial to familiarize yourself with the specific requirements outlined in the NEC, which provides comprehensive guidance on electrical installations. The NEC is updated every 3 years, so it is important to stay current with the latest edition. Finally, remember that electrical work can be dangerous, and it is always best to err on the side of caution. If you are unsure about any aspect of the installation, consult with a qualified electrician who can provide expert advice and ensure that the work is done safely and correctly.